do these before the week starts, because it will give you an idea of what's coming up. It'll tell you more. Okay? So try to finish that before tomorrow. Okay? If you can. It's just a few slides. So you just go through here, and they're all the stuff down here is all summary. The summaries that I give to you. You know, when I give to you at the end of the lesson. So it's really just, it's really just this here, and this is the PowerPoint that we're doing today. So it's just, you can see this PowerPoint again. It's actually a PDF file, but whatever. Okay, so critical thinking now. So I've got this question over here. It says, what does critical thinking mean to you? What does critical thinking mean to you? I want people to come up and just put a little, couple of words, what critical thinking means to you. What do you think it means? And there's not a right or wrong, so don't worry about that. But there's a green one. You want to use green? Okay. So what do you think it's all about? Problem solving. Very good. Okay. No one else wants to have a go? There we go. Excellent. Thinking wisely, good. Handwriting is all very nice and clear. You spell what? Opposite. O-P, two P's. S-I-T-E. Evaluation, good. Thank you. Anybody else have any ideas? Again, there's not a perfect answer to this. It doesn't have to be perfect or right or wrong or anything like that. Some ideas. Just getting some ideas. So, thinking wisely, considering the opposite situation, considering all sides of a topic, evaluating and analyzing problems, grounded analyses, thinking problems from different angles, thinking more differently, again, similar to this, from different angles, problem solving, creative thinking, thinking something advantages and disadvantages, all very good. All parts of critical thinking. So thinking and analyzing for yourself the situation or an argument or any topic. So when you come across journal articles, when you start doing your masters or PhDs or whatever, you're going to come across a lot of journal articles, a lot of books, and you've got to think, you know, is this, where are they getting this information from? How is this relevant to my topic? Do I believe this? Does this sound like a reasonable argument to me, etc. So all of those are very good examples of thinking critically. Okay, so we're going to have a look at these two statements, which are pretty topical in Britain today. Because have you heard about this EU referendum vote?
Yes.
Yes. Do you remember what it's about, or what we voted on?
But the United Kingdom decides to stay
With
I don't remember the name.
with Europe?
Yeah, and
vote to
for this reason they do voting,
Yes.
and people say that we should pray the Europe.
Okay. And what do you want to add?
I think the vote to leave.
Yeah, they voted to leave. So now, I have an opinion on all of this, but I can't. I'm not allowed to tell you. So, but what happened was the Prime Minister, the old Prime Minister David Cameron, he just quit. He introduced this referendum where he let the British people vote on whether or not to stay in the European Union. Because we've been in it for about 20 years, and then there are all sorts of different issues, but he put the vote to the people, and it was something like 53.1% voted to leave, and 48% voted to stay, so it was almost half and half. But because the majority was 53, then they have to now figure out how to leave. Anyway, you might be able to guess what my opinion is. But anyway, so I got to vote, so I voted, but I can't tell you what I voted. Okay, now, so the things that we're going to be doing today and tomorrow have to do with this issue. Okay? And so the first thing we're going to do is look at a couple of these statements. We'll just focus on the first one. Okay, and we're going to try to think critically about the statements. Not whether or not we agree with them. We're not trying to decide whether we agree or disagree. We're just going to look critically at them and see what they're saying, and if the arguments are valid, okay, or if we have enough information. So, for example, 57% of people believe that immigration does not lead to a benefit for the UK economy. Okay? Is that sentence okay so far? You understand what they're saying, yes? Therefore, immigration should not be encouraged. Okay, so let's think critically about just those two sentences. Is there anything that, when you read those, comes to your mind immediately, like, what? Why are they saying this? Can you see anything about these sentences?
Yeah.
What do you see that might make you start thinking?
What's the benefit of immigration?
Yeah, benefit. What kind of benefits are they talking about? So
Economy.
benefits, what is that all about? So, what are the benefits? What sort of benefits are they talking about? Okay. What other questions come to your mind?
57%. This figure, where it come from?
Yeah. Where did it come from? Who's done this research?
Or surveys or some get to this figure.
Yeah, where did the figure come from? Was it a survey? Was it a study, a different study? Who knows? We don't know. So we don't know where the number came from. Okay. What other questions come to your mind?
What means of immigration? Food. Talk about.
Okay, like which people?
Yeah.
Or is it maybe legal or illegal immigration? What are they talking about? We don't know. It doesn't. There's no not proof, but there's no sources. There's no sources here. We don't have any sources of where they got this information. So what kind of immigration are we talking about? Who are they? Are they legal, illegal, Okay? What other things can you think about when you read that?
Why not people do not believe?
Why do we think why do we think there might be a benefit to have people immigrating? Yes? Okay. So what sort of benefit and why? Okay, why would there be any kind of benefit? Okay?
Okay.
Good. What else?
UP economy, which subject is not benefit from the immigration?
Yes, I mean, the economy, well, there's all sorts of different sides to the
Yeah.
economy, jobs and cost of living and all sorts of different things, products, you know. So what are they talking about? We don't know. So what does that all mean, economy? So very good. So you picked that apart very well. So that's very good. All sorts of questions that come up in your mind from these simple sentences, simple statements. You've got to be able to prove or show, you know, all these things. Where you've got to be more specific. What are they talking about? Okay, and the first sentence there is what I would call an argument. Okay, it's a reason for thinking of this conclusion. Now, we don't know where the argument came from. We have all these questions about the argument. Okay, about, you know, they're giving a reason. An argument is a reason for believing something. But we don't know where any of that information came from. But they've come up with this conclusion from that argument. Therefore, this is the conclusion: immigration should not be encouraged. So this is their conclusion based on that one sentence argument ahead of time. Okay, but we don't know anything about that, you know, where that information came from for the argument. We have no idea. So this is an example of critical thinking. Every time you read an article, or a book, or a newspaper, or propaganda, you've got to consider where this information is coming from. Okay? So here's another similar statement. Immigration contributes to making the UK a diverse and interesting place. We should encourage people from other nations to come into the UK. Okay? So let's pick apart that one now. Can you think of any questions that come to mind for that one?
Where is the display?
Yeah, like, what are they talking about? All of the UK?
Or
Just London? What are they, you know, what place are they talking about? Okay, so the actual place, what are they talking about? Okay, any other questions that come to your mind?
Other country, which country?
Okay, which other countries are they, you know, do we only want certain people coming in, or do we want to, you know, leave certain people out? You know, who knows? Anything else? Okay, it says immigration contributes to making a diverse, but how does it do that? There's no information about how it does that. You know, what are they talking about? Okay, so very good. So this is an example of critical thinking, yes? Okay, and the way that you should approach anything that you might be reading for your, you know, your master's degrees or your PhDs later on. Okay, it's a really important skill, because then you have to come up with your own argument. You've got to be able to construct your own argument in your essays, like you're writing for, even now, for pre-sessional. You've got to be able to construct an argument and then make some sort of conclusion based on the arguments that you give. Okay? So what we're going to be doing is we're going to stay with this topic of the EU referendum, and I'm going to divide you up into 4 groups, and each group will have, some of them are the same between groups and some are different. But each group is going to get a journal article, okay, and a newspaper article, and some propaganda, like, you know, people come around with flyers and try to convince you to vote this way or that way. So each group is going to get journal article, newspaper article, and some propaganda. Now, one of these propaganda is pretty harsh. It's very harsh. It's very racist. to be honest. It's this one. Have you heard about this? So, yeah, do you know what all these words mean? Okay, Polish. Polish people, yes? From Poland. The biggest immigrant group in the UK is Poland. It's from Poland. Vermin. It means, literally means like worms. And like rats and dirty things. So somebody left a note, right? So like the day after the vote, somebody left notes, these kind of notes on people's shops, Polish shops, or on their cars, or on their houses. Terrible. So I mean, I think we can agree that's pretty terrible. Okay? So this is propaganda. So this is a propaganda, yes? But very, very harsh. Very harsh. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out, that some of these things aren't pleasant. Anyway, so I'm going to give you these, and what I would like you to do is, you've got your newspaper articles, a journal article, and a Leave or Remain propaganda. You're going to look through them. I don't expect you to, definitely read through the whole journal article, because this one's quite long and quite complicated. I mean, as we saw the economy, that economy stuff is pretty complicated stuff. But I would like you just to pick out some different issues that you think in your group, different arguments, okay? And so what you're going to do on tomorrow is you're going to put your arguments together. You're going to take some statements. You're actually going to physically cut out some statements from here to construct arguments that lead to some conclusion that your group will agree on. Okay? So, I know this is quite complicated, and these, like I said, these journal articles are pretty long, and even the newspaper article can be a bit long. But just pick out some key words, key topics, and think of some kind of conclusion that your group can agree on, and then find some arguments that support your conclusion. Okay? So you don't have to agree with the conclusion. It's not like I'm trying to find out what your beliefs are. Okay? The point is to be able to construct an argument. Okay? So it doesn't matter if you agree with the statements or with the conclusion in your group, but come up with some conclusion, okay? And based on these bits of arguments. And you're physically going to cut them out, okay? And then construct them. You're going to paste them back. You're going to paste them together on another sheet tomorrow, okay? So today you're just looking through these and finding some arguments to support a conclusion, okay? Right. Okay, so how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're going to have 3 people in a group, okay? So, so do you want 3 be a group? Okay. And you 3 be a group? Yes? Okay. So each person can get, one of these to look at. Okay, so you 3 here, and then back. And if you want to get up and move around the room so you can have some space, that's okay. Okay, but have a look through those. And again, I don't expect you to read these from beginning to end. Just find some major topics that you can talk about or find an argument about. Maybe to help us start off, let's think of some major topics to do with the EU referendum. When the British people voted, what sorts of things did they have to think about? They had to think about, we talked already about immigration, okay? So immigration, maybe you can base your arguments around immigration. What else did they want to, what else did they have to think about when they were voting? You mentioned it before. The economy. Immigration, economy, any other major topics that they had to think about? Policies, different policies, okay, maybe like trade policies with the EU, okay, policies of various kinds. Anything else? Culture, okay, yeah, different cultural things, okay. So, I can think of another one, and that is like healthcare, okay, because maybe the EU rules have different rules to, you know, Britain. Okay, so you can think about a major issue, so agree on a major issue in your group that you want to find arguments for, okay? So try to work on something like that. If you pick the same major issue, like two groups want to pick economy or something, that's fine, okay?
Okay. Economy. Not economy. Agriculture. The job opportunity. Next, about economy. Education is not about. Education will. And class 1 is class 5. So this is all about economy. Main focus.
And again, there's not a right or wrong for this, so don't worry about that. Okay.
May I?
Yeah.
Should we talk about religiously or?
You can if you want. Yeah, you can. You could if your topic is let's say education or something, you can come up with a conclusion like, I think or the UK should leave the EU because and then find some arguments. Say here's something here, university. So if you want to do it that way, that might be easier to think about. So make a conclusion and then find arguments to support it.
Our result is not to be the
Yeah, and for your preparation for next time, you can find one more argument somewhere else to support your conclusion. Yeah. Yeah. And again, you don't have to believe the conclusion. It doesn't have to be your own opinion. So. That's a good idea to highlight. Or you can use these markers to draw on the piece of paper if you want. Basically, we were going to use some scissors to cut out the arguments, but it might get a little messy right now. Yeah. Carry around all these sheets of paper.
I know this thing is just talk about. So what should we do? Are those those that I talked about? What? Maybe. I have it free.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think it's put some
Brexit.
words
Yeah.
thing all that, but.
Yes, it is, yeah. What it is, Brexit is a combination of Britain and exit.
Oh.
So the EU referendum is whether or not Britain should exit. So they stuck the word together. Okay, how are you finding this? Is this to me, I mean, they gave us these articles, and I think they're quite hard. They're long and they're quite difficult, you know. I don't expect you to understand everything, but just to pick out a few sentences that make an argument for some conclusion. Okay? Okay. For the last couple of minutes, I'm going to let you take these away with you, these articles, and you can maybe find a few minutes between now and the next session tomorrow to discuss these arguments. But the end result is going to be tomorrow when we put our arguments together with the conclusion. And this is the type of thing, this is an example of what I would like you to come up with. So this person says that their conclusion is why leaving the EU will bring peace to the UK. That's their conclusion. They think, whether or not they really think this. Again, you don't have to believe what you come up with. Leaving the EU will bring peace to the UK. So this is what their conclusion is. Their arguments are, they've chosen this one about the Polish vermin, and they said, first of all, there's already racism in the UK. Okay, so there's already racism in the UK. The Daily Mail, so this is the propaganda, yes? The Daily Mail, this is a newspaper. The Daily Mail says, the time to risk peace and prosperity, this is not the time to risk peace and prosperity in the UK. The Daily Mail, here's the argument, is spreading, this is more propaganda actually, spreading more propaganda saying that leaving the EU would disrupt peace. Okay? But there's already not peace in the UK. So they're saying it would disrupt peace. And then the student found, what you should do before tomorrow, is find another article somewhere or something else, some other piece of propaganda, newspaper, whatever, to support a statement. So you're going to have another quotation here or part of an article. And actually, the article I found states, okay, and then they've got some other thing that they found. Therefore, if we leave, the racism may stop as people realize that being in the EU wasn't that bad after all. Okay, so it's kind of a silly argument. And again, whether or not they believe this doesn't matter. Okay, so, but this is the sort of end result that you're going to try to produce tomorrow, just an example. Okay? So you prepare this during the class time. So in class time, you're going to prepare like a little poster. So you're going to have some kind of conclusion based on some arguments that you find in... And you can cut them out, yes. Cut them out, and then you're going to glue them onto the sheets of paper. So tomorrow I'll have scissors and pens and big sheets of paper.
Scissors.
And what?
Scissors.
Scissors, yes, that's right. Okay, so you're going to come up with this. So before tomorrow, you're going to produce this in the class tomorrow. If you want to meet your group members between now and then, that's up to you. But you're going to come up with some sort of conclusion and then arguments to support your conclusion. Okay? And again, it doesn't matter if you believe any of it. Okay? Okay. All right. Is that okay? So for tomorrow, I want you to find one more resource somewhere. It could be newspaper, it could be a journal, it could be whatever, that supports your arguments, that supports your conclusion. So you're going to find another argument that supports your conclusion about whatever general topic you in your group choose: economy, education, racism, and immigration, whatever it might be. Okay, and then tomorrow in the lesson, in class, you're going to produce a little poster, and then tell the rest of the group about your poster. Okay, so we're learning how to construct critical arguments. Okay, constructing arguments, and based on our critical thinking skills. So that's it, really. Okay, I know that's quite an ask. It's quite a challenge, but do your best. Again, there's not going to be a right or wrong here. So don't worry about that. Okay. Now, the lesson's over, and did anybody else need to sign up for advising this week? Okay, do that before you leave. All right, so we'll see you tomorrow. And I might see some of you later today. Yeah, there's two people already here. So I've got Fahad and somebody Nizor. And there's two people. This one has got one space left. These are all full. That one has one space left. This has one. This has one. Okay? Yes, you've already got your score printed. Yeah. If you want to, yeah, do you want me to do that? Put you down for every... Okay, I'll do that. Okay. Yeah, put your name on this. There you go. You want to put your name there? Okay.
Can I send with Young?
Yeah?
Yeah. Here.
So this is Jack, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll put Jack there. Okay? Sure.
这是你们决定吗？
Sure.
这也不是
Tomorrow
这是来 A 这个。
we're staying Taipei.
Hartley, this is the this is the Avenue campus, near the library.
And where?
Avenue?
And this was Avenue. These are all Avenue.
Can I change my time?
Yes.
My car.
Yes.
I
This
change.
is Avenue too.
This 440.
No.
So this is...
This is all Avenue.
哎，那去 Avenue 是吗？
All of them are Avenue except for this one.